Welcome to the City of Miramar, Business Connect, where we connect your business to what's important. And I'm Johnny Douglas, your host. Today we will be discussing the topic of building a website that will boost your traffic and your revenue. Today we have our special guest is Mr. Hermaud Rolle, who is the founder CEO of Smart Web Plans. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Morning. Good morning. I'm really good.
We're glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. Now, as everybody know, I always open up the podcast with some research that I've done and some facts that I think will be really helpful for the business community and for anybody who's listening. One of the things I found out in my research is researchers have found that there are 6 common website problems. Number one being your website lacks SEO, which is search engine optimization. Number 2, it's not mobile friendly. Number 3, your website has low quality content or images. Now, I know I had that problem with my website when I tried to do my own website. How the pictures were stretched and they were, you can tell that an amateur did it. And there's a number 4, there are technical issues. Number 5, you have a slow page load time. People want things like yesterday. So if you're loading things up on your page and your page is stalling out, that might be a problem for you. There's not, and the last number 6, there's no clear call to action. What are you looking for? Are you definite in that? Do you have what do you want people to know about you when they go on the website? Let's get to the point of why you have this website. So those are the 6 that we have here. I'm quite sure through this interview that Mr. Rolle is going to answer some of those, if not all of those, but he's going to come in his own way first right now and give us an overview of Smart Web Plans. Welcome, sir.
Okay. So to keep it short in terms of Smart Web Plans, it's a full stack digital marketing agency. Our goal is to be able to help local businesses in the different facets of marketing themselves online. So what do you need when you want to market yourself online? And most business owners at some point go through the process of setting these things up. You need a website, you need a Google My Business profile, you need a Facebook profile, and you need, let's say you'll do one auxiliary social media channel. Some people it'll be Instagram. For some people on the professional side, it'll be more like a LinkedIn. But those are typically some of the channels that you're going to set up. Also, email. Most businesses do have an email. So once you have those things set up, the management becomes overwhelming because you're going to have to be an expert in all those different areas. So our goal is to come in and really help you leverage our experience and our skills to help you really get through those tasks.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, and you find out that a lot of business owners, they're trying to wear multiple hats. That's one thing that I found out. They're trying to do their own marketing. They're trying to do their own, they're trying to run their business day-to-day activities. They're also trying to make sure that their employees are good. They're being their own accountant. Something has to give. And so when it comes to something that has to give, it's the most important thing that they don't pay attention to is their marketing. And so when you just mentioned that, that was so cool that you mentioned that what your business does, what your company does, is to make sure that you manage that particular area for businesses so they can concentrate on the most important things as well, other important things as well.
Yeah, it's because it's kind of, I mean, to be honest, it's more like putting gas in a car. You know, you can buy all types of cars, Ferrari, you can buy a Toyota, but fundamentally you need gas to get from point A to point B. And in the business, you know, the marketing is literally the gas. You know, I like to look at it, you have capitalism as a whole. We're all different types of businesses, shapes, sizes. We all have that ultimate goal of making money, but you need a catalyst. You need marketing to drive that out there into the market. So, that's where we're in. We're trying to be the gas inside of the company.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, matter of fact, I had to pull up to the gas station this morning if I was going to get to work. You're absolutely right.
Right. So
So,
that's where we're at. We're a company. We're a country, really. If you think about it, we're capitalists.
right.
That's how we grow. We find a need, we feel that, and we expect revenue in return. So you got to have some way to connect to the people and say, hey, who has a problem? What can I fix? And that's us.
Okay, wow. There's a lot of things that I'm interested in finding out. I know our business community want to find out too. One of the questions that come to me quite often is, why does my business need to have an online presence? I work with some businesses who are old school. The owners have been in business for years, for decades, and they ran it the same way. Nothing's changed. They're comfortable in that space. But however, the customer base that they have are slowly dying out or fading out, and now they're scrambling now to try to obtain new business.
Yeah.
So how important is it to have an online presence for your business?
I mean, at this point, it's uber important, but it's something that's going to increase over time. It's not going the other way. Computers are not going away. There is no future where we're like, I'm sick of the internet. I'm sick of all of this, fast speed information. That's not happening. So as we progress into the future, businesses will feel that increasing pressure to market themselves online.
Mhm.
People are going to look. Now for the older generational businesses, I always tell them, look, at the very least, you have to, it may not be a common practice in your business, but you have to expect your consumers to look there.
Right.
My dad he just turned 68 in March.
Mhm.
He's an iPhone. Seniors have iPhones, and
Yes.
you have an iPhone or you have an Android. The first there are four icons at the bottom of any smartphone. It sends you to your text messages. It opens up your contacts. The last two are internet and music. People spend a lot of time on the internet and using music. So if you're a business, you just have to expect these people to go on the internet. And even for a bit older business that doesn't necessarily want to drive themselves into new technology, just kind of keep it as a formality for your customers.
Right. Right.
Uh, Even what I've always been scolded at by older business owners.
Mm.
I forget my business card. Have you ever
Right.
been somewhere and
Yes. Yes. Yes.
you want to make that exchange? I like you, you like me, but I forgot my business card. Well, not having a website is kind of like doing that on the internet.
Oh,
People
wow.
people come
Wow.
across you and it's like, hey, can I get your business card? I don't have one.
Oh,
I
wow.
left it in the car. I haven't gotten my business route to that point yet. So it's important to, meet your customer halfway.
Right.
They're going to be on the internet looking for you. They have the apps. Meet them halfway and at least say, hey, if this is your issue, I'm here. So that's why it's really important. It's something that is here. It's here to stay, and it's going to increase. So that's why I tell them it's important.
Wow. I like the illustration you gave with the business card comparison to the online presence, which is so true because that is a great great missed opportunity. Uh, it can be a huge opportunity, because in our fast-paced world today, a lot of business owners don't have time for you to take out a pen, write down a number, audit. They don't have time for that. So business card works really great. Or most people say, oh well, look me up on my website. Here's my website. Go to it and get all the information, and then we can come from there.
You know,
If you don't have a business card or website presence, wow,
yeah,
there's something
you're
strategically wrong with you.
well, you're just. I mean, to be honest, let's call it what it is. You're invisible. That's just it.
Yes, yes. Great
Visible.
word. Right, great word.
Yeah, that's it. If you don't have a business card, you don't have an online presence, you're invisible. You're probably, and and the saddest thing is, there are a lot of good businesses. There are a lot of people that provide premium service, but hey, you have to be visible. The mediocre service that's in the front will still be top tier service that is unseen.
Wow. You know that, oh, I'm sorry. That was good what you just said, because there are some business owners that I meet with who are like old school, and those are the ones that will say that, well, I've ran my business like this all the time, and plus I like the personal touch. I like talking to people. I like people in front of me. I don't like the texting. I don't like all the new. And so they say this, but what you just said was very vital. So I'm hoping that a business owner who has that mindset, that a personal touch we're trying to get away from, is really not true. Personal touch still exists.
Yeah.
However, if you want to have your business survive and thrive, you have to be visible. People have to know that you're here at this corner of Miramar and Parkway and
Yeah.
and Flamingo. You have to know, they have to know that you're there, so you can drive businesses to your.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, let's make this really clear for businesses. If you're a business, you have to understand that you can't, once you open that business, you can't change the concept of the internet.
Right.
You use the internet, I use the internet, almost everyone we know uses the internet, right? And if I asked you what was the internet, you wouldn't say to me, that's where I go buy stuff. That's not what the internet is for. It's not necessary. Like, you can buy things on the internet. No, don't get me wrong. There's a ton of things being sold every day, but the internet is not strictly for the purpose of selling things. So when you open your business and you take your business and you say, I'm going to put it on the internet, that doesn't mean I'm going to now, sell. That's not a new idea. And that's where business owners get confused a little bit. They say my business plus the internet equals sales. And that is not true at all.
Wow.
The internet remains the internet and your business remains your business. Now, what you have now, though, is opportunity in the middle. You have the business, you have this internet, you have opportunity in which people will look for things and they can come across you. Now let's put the internet back into perspective of what it really is. It's where we go and look for stuff.
Right.
We go there to consume content. The content, that's most likely related to what we want. So you have that opportunity to provide the content and attract someone, but the internet is not, your sales box.
Wow. That opened my eyes to a whole new different concept as well. Wow. That was really well said, because a lot of you just clear up a confusion of many people. A lot of people do believe that the internet is a place where you sell stuff and buy stuff. And like you just said, it's not. It's where I find things. It's where I go, because the internet is used to do word search, to find definitions. Is to go and find books. It's to go and find definitions of words. It's all that. So it can't be just selling. So you're absolutely right. Wow. Thank you for that. That was like thought provoking for me as well. I appreciate.
And to be honest, if the average person probably looked at the money that they spend every month, if you look at your bills, you probably don't spend most of your bills or your money on the internet. There's not like, hey, what did I do this month? I spent like $2,000 on the internet because I was just on the internet this week.
Right.
That's not how it works.
Right. And most business owners really don't have time to search the internet. They're busy doing their job.
Right.
They really don't.
And that's what their consumers doing.
Right. They're in hopes that when a consumer is looking for a great place to eat a steak, that when they Google it, that their restaurant comes to mind, that it pops up in the search engine and boom, there it is. And you can choose me. One of the things I'd like to ask is, what is digital marketing? Like, when we talk about this all the time, and this is the new thing that's going out now, digital marketing. Well, it may not be new. It just may be new to business owners who are not in that realm of thinking right now. But digital marketing, can you put that in layman's term for someone who's listening?
The 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 simplest form of digital marketing that can come up for any business owner is literally marketing your business via an electronic device. It doesn't matter whether it's computer, an app, an email, as long as there was electronic transmission in terms of getting that offer out, that is digital marketing. Now, once I've given you that simple, basic, view, what I want to do is give you the more complicated view that someone is more likely to call you over the phone and talk to you about. So in the larger spectrum of digital marketing, what you're doing is you're locating what your consumers like online.
Mm-hmm.
You're providing them with that content, and then you're giving them the opportunity to come and do business with you, just as if you were doing traditional marketing. So let's think about traditional marketing first. I have a house for sale. I take a sign, I say for sale, and I stick it in the front yard. That is traditional marketing. I have placed an offer in front of people. Traffic will come by that sign. They know where the offer is. And usually I put at the bottom my phone number so they can call. So now we have an advertisement, I have traffic, and I have a call to action, which is call my phone number. That is traditional marketing. When you're doing this digitally, it's the same effect. You're just, hey, I'm going to put an advertisement out. There's no yard sign anymore. There's a Facebook ad. So now you're not driving on the street anymore. Now you're just scrolling in your phone. And you're going to see that same sign that says home for sale. And if I'm a smart digital marketer, I'm going to put a call to action. Hey, click this button right here, and you're going to be connected with me. And that's really all digital marketing is. It's the same format of traditional marketing in a digital format.
That to me, what I've learned from all of that as well is the time that's saved from that. Because in traditional marketing, like you said, with the sign out, you have to go to the house, monitor it. You have to monitor the sign. You have to go if somebody leave you a message, you have to get the message. But all that is time consuming, even to go out to that property every weekend, and all of that. So to have digital marketing where someone can just come right up, and a lot of people may not drive down that street that are looking for that particular house, and they will never see this house. Right. However, on the internet, they will be able to see this house from your digital marketing. They'll be able to see this house and say, hey, that house looks pretty nice. I like the outside house. I like the landscaping. I like how it looks. So let me call this number. But that particular person may have never seen that house at all had they not been on your marketing, digital marketing. So that's a great concept too, as well. I'm hoping that listeners who are good business owners have great products and services, but don't know how to market it well so they can drive their business and their revenue. One thing I'd like to ask you is, a person who is stuck in a time warp when it comes to marketing their business and getting their business visible, how difficult is it for them to learn how to do digital marketing and do it well?
Well, it depends on what are your real results? Because at the base level of digital marketing, if you want to get things set up, create outreach, basic outreach, whereas, right now you might not have a Google profile. So when I'm Googling in the area, I don't see you. But you can simply put that profile up, and now when I'm on Google Maps, I see you. So that's a base level of digital marketing, and that is relatively easy to get into. I'm going to give two resources that I've never heard anybody mention back to me as a business owner, and it startles me. It kind of keeps me up a little bit at night because these are like very key. but Google and Facebook have some of the most extensive knowledge base on these platforms that you'll ever find. There's Google University and there is Facebook Blueprint. These are two programs that these companies use to specifically train in-house and other digital marketers like me. So when we go to learn about these platforms, we go to the company. You know, I go to Google University to learn how to rank #1. It's not a secret. Facebook tells you how to get the likes. They have it's a whole training. It's called Facebook Blueprint. And I've never heard a business owner use it. It's insane. So,
wow. Well, they're probably welcoming you now and thanking you for that, for giving them that e-blast, that promotion for them. Because yes, first time hearing this is me. Right.
So on a base level, it's fairly easy to get into. You could always, just actually open those two up and they'll tell you, right off the back, like they'll say, hey, open your Google business profile. You're going to need this, you're going to need this, check your images, check your descriptions. They will tell you exactly what you need to fill out to start seeing results. That on a base level is very easy. Where people get confused and where I always make a suggestion to business owners, I'll tell a business owner very easily, hire when it comes to digital marketing. And the reason I tell them to hire is because there are people there are introverts out in the world. They don't like talking to people, but they are monsters on the internet. They're great at email, making social media posts, engaging videos. They're monsters in this type of area. And those are your digital marketers. Those are the guys who end up opening agencies like mine. So if you're a business owner and you are reluctant to hire one of these businesses or consult with them after a certain point, you're competing against them. And
wow.
that is a tough sell. You rather have one of these marketers on your side than to try to compete with them. That's like, imagine, Johnny, my store's here, your store's across the street, and we're both running Facebook ads. Right. I've been doing this for years,
Right.
So you want, at some point, you want a consultant or, some type of outside work if you haven't already hired in-house to take care of the marketing. But that's the next level. Entry, you can get in, get a lot of base stuff. But once you start to really look for results, you want to start driving the numbers. You're looking at, hey, this is what I made this year, or this is what I made this quarter, and I really want to, move up. You're going to want to use some type of assistance on that level.
Wow. You just answered. That was one of the questions I was going to ask you. Did you, what is your opinion on having in-house marketing as opposed to trying to do it all on your own or have an expert do it as well? You just answered that very, very well. I appreciate that. Thank you. Now I don't have to ask the question because you laid it all out.
And I'll make something clear too, in terms of in-house and agencies, because I've actually been asked that a lot. It's like, hey, I could work with you guys or I could hire in-house. To me, I've always boiled it down to effectiveness and relationships. Okay. When you're in-house, I've met a lot of in-house marketers that can do a lot. I've seen a team of 2, that can do the website, they can do social media, they can bang everything out. And that can be good for a company, but you just have to make sure you have somebody that's well-trained. And, it has to be a fit. It has to be a long-term relationship. They have to be able to understand the brand and put that message out there. If you have those 2 things in-house, then you're fine. The agency option, I always suggest that to the business that, if you don't know what to look for, like, let's say, you don't have the SOPs or operating capacity to really monitor a marketing employee. If you don't know if they're doing a good job,
right.
You might want to go with the agency, because from the agency, first you get the first impression. you have online reviews, there's testimonials, there's ways to go about identifying a good agency that you can get involved with versus spending 6 months trying to hire a poor marketing manager.
And you know what? And that's very important that you said that, because hiring agencies can also make sure that they keep up your data with you, like to make sure that they have the numbers
Right.
that reflect what's going on behind the scenes. Like, you've got the website built, everything is running, it's good. Okay, so now how have this impact my business? What are the numbers telling me? Now, speaking of numbers, I want to move into another question I have for you. The other question I have for you is, now that you have your website set up, you have professionals working on it for you, you freed your time from that, and you can concentrate on your other side of your business now. You're worried about, now your concern is getting the numbers, making sure that this investment is working for you. How do you get customers from the internet? Because that's going to drive your numbers, correct?
Right. Well, here's the thing. Hopefully, and this is a big problem in digital marketing. Hopefully, when you started digital marketing, your numbers were correct.
Okay.
See, and it makes digital. I do a lot of sales calls with digital marketing and the services, and I'm going to tell you, digital marketing is very hard as a product to really put out, and the reason is because it's very hard to productize. It's a service where people are looking for a return on investment and sales, right. And they sell you the SEO, and in 3 months down the line we'll see this, and 6 months we'll see that. But the reality is, the way marketing is designed, you should see a return on investment in the beginning. If you do not see a return on investment in the beginning, then you have started in the wrong place. It all works. All of digital marketing works. Anything you've ever heard about digital marketing is 9 times out of 10 true. People go viral, email campaigns go really well, websites, go viral overnight. These are phenomena that happen in the digital marketing world that are real and true. But the difference is, where did I start? Where was I when this all happened? And digital marketing, to me, is a pathway. You want to start and then you want to finish. And most people don't see the start or the finish. They just kind of know what they want in the middle. So you just dive in and you hope for some results. But, the way I always try to get people to approach it is to, know where you're starting at, and then know exactly where you should end. That way your numbers are following you the entire time. You said, okay, I did this. I wanted this number. I hit this number. I wanted this number. I hit this number. And that should be, the cycle of getting through. So if you want to start this digital marketing, I'm going to give you really quickly, I'm going to go all 3 levels of what I consider marketing. Okay. Okay. Wait, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I was just making sure the audio is fine. Okay. So when you're starting digital marketing, the toughest part is the setup, right? A lot of people invest a lot of money and then you look for the return, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I've taken a new spin on this. Okay. First of all, we need to understand what we need to sell online. I'm going to give you the 3 things you need to do to be able to get a person to take the next action when they come to your website. So the first thing is, and it's kind of funny because you actually read some of these off earlier when you were mentioning your 6 things. I was listening.
Right. I knew you would come to them, right, and answer them right.
So the first thing is content. You might see it online. Someone will say content is king. That's a phrase that they throw around a lot. It's very serious. First, you need content. Why? The people, the customer, the prospect, whoever you want, will not engage until they have the correct piece of content. They're not responding. Okay. It's just throw it out the window. If it's not what I want, I'm not looking at it.
Wow.
That's could be because you gotta understand this. The
Right.
internet, I have options, infinite options.
Yeah.
So why would I ever take in something I don't want? So first, content. I need that content. Once I have that content in place, I need a traffic stream. This is where Google and Facebook have been so influential to the business world. I need traffic. I have this great content, but just like we said, we don't want it in that yard, in that house on the back street. I
Right.
need it in the internet. So
Right.
I need traffic. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go out, you're going to grab you some traffic. You're going to go to Google, you're going to go to Facebook, wherever you have to go. You know, some is Yelp, Angie's List, depends on your market, but you're going to grab you some traffic and you're going to send it directly to that content.
Mm.
Now, once you send it to that content, you're going to add on the third piece. And this is a piece that many businesses miss, even when they build the website. What you need is what people call a funnel. In sales, they call it a sales funnel. You know, there's a lot of different names for this, but what you're looking to achieve is a direct path to an action. You know, they say on websites, I know people have heard the phrase call to action.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, now, once you have a call to action, you really want to lay out a format for me to get through this. So let's say me and you are going to go get haircuts.
Okay.
So, you know, we saw a website and the picture was amazing. We were like, I want my hair to look like this guy. We're going to go get shaved up and we're going to look like that guy. Okay. So we got that out there. Now we got this flyer from a guy on the street. There's a guy handing out those flyers. That's the traffic. We got traffic.
Right.
Okay. So now we need a little path to get me in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
And and that path is going to be the guy giving me a card. He's going to say, hey, use this $5 coupon to go get your next haircut. Now I'm going to use that coupon. I'm going to call a number on it. That's going to lead me directly to the chair and an appointment. And that's where people miss. So you need that sales funnel at the end of your content to push that next action. And it has to be very, very clear. It's not what I can do. You know, if you sell hair products, you don't want to offer all your hair products. If you sell a t-shirt, or if you're a real estate agent, you don't want to sell all your houses. You want one house. This is a clear call to action. This is what I want you to do after you've reached this point. And once you have those three things in place, you will always be able to move people on the internet because they will always come across the good content and they will always follow that track.
Wow. So man, I really appreciate that. Wow. I'm hoping listening audience is listening to this and getting a lot. Hey, if you guys want to boost your sales and boost your traffic flow, Hermaud, he's right here. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for you to give you all of this knowledge. One thing you said that I do agree, I do know for a fact is, like you said, action and traffic, and action and how to get them in the seat. Publix and all major restaurants like KFC, they do that very well.
Right.
And what they do is, although they have an Arby's, although they have many sandwiches, they will focus on one new item.
Exactly.
And get you to come to them for that one item, knowing that once you're there, you may buy all the other favorite items that you're normally accustomed to when you go there. Publix is not very good with that marketing. When they have the BOGO, you know, you buy this one, you get this one free. And so they do. That's an intentional, what you're saying, call to action, correct? That is the intentional call to action.
And this is important. And I tell people this is important right out the gate for the budget. You know, a lot of when I'm dealing with businesses, their most important part with me is usually the expense. Especially if you're a new business, you know, you're always thinking about how much am I putting in. So what I just told you, that formula is so important because what a lot of companies and a lot of smaller businesses don't understand is when you put out multiple products, each one of those product streams should come with its own content and its traffic. So you would literally need a budget for each product that you're pushing. So if you start out with 10 products and you're trying to sell 10 products, you would literally need a budget for that. You know, McDonald's, they think about it, they're not going to spend $1 million on each sandwich. We'll spend $1 million marketing one sandwich,
Right.
but each sandwich would be, it would be wasteful.
Right. Exactly.
Everybody,
Wow.
everybody doesn't fall in love with every product. So you have to let things, work themselves in their respective ways. So the first stage, we were talking about the setup. So you're going to need those three things. So that's what you need in the first stage of marketing. If you don't want to waste any money, make sure you have that set up first. If you don't have that set up first and you start doing anything, I mean anything, if you run a Facebook ad, you run a Google ad, you hire someone to get you Facebook likes, I don't care what it is, I guarantee you it will fail, because you need those three things in order to make the profit. You need to make the sale. So you need to first have those three things set up. So that's the first stage. The very first stage is really just the setup. Now, the second stage that I found, and this is where the businesses honestly lose the money at. This is where me as a digital marketer and the business owners hit heads.
Okay.
Because I have come in, let's say you were my client and we did the startup. I started you up, but I didn't finish the startup correctly. I built maybe the website and the Google, but I didn't finish certain parts, right? Mm-hmm. What's going to happen is I'm going to start to pull in leads. And you as a business owner, you're going to say, okay, that's great. That's what I paid you for. I paid you for these leads and now people are coming in. What we're going to see is a high rate of leads that are unconverted.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And this is what you've preached this to me. Mark from Power Partners preached this a lot, but this comes to the follow-up. There's a big gap in between digital marketing agencies and actual businesses when it comes to follow-up. A lot of times agencies will create leads. Sales, businesses don't actually have any interaction to follow up with these on a correct manner and actually process the lead. Mm-hmm. So it becomes a sale. So now you just have nothing. You have a bunch of leads, but most of them are unconverted. So you've made no money, but you've paid me money for those leads. So now we have a problem. Because now it looks like my work is no good and it looks like you didn't make any money. So in the second phase, what I like to focus on is the actual conversion. So I have all of these wonderful things set up to make to pull in leads and get them to a reaction, to perform an action. Now I actually need to set up some type of follow-up system to get them down the pipeline. Every salesperson, every business, they have some type of sales pipeline. And that's what you actually have to plug the digital marketing into. I actually missed this when we first opened the agency. I'll be honest, we missed that link. There were so many, I could generate 200 leads in a week on Facebook, but how many would go converted? And it really was a tough time. But we found that setting up all of these systems with proper follow-up, proper nurturing systems where you have emails and text messaging going out, that's what closes the sale. That's what gets you that appointment and gets you the deal. So you have to cover that phase too. You have to have a strong follow-up, a strong conversion.
Wow.
So now just so we can recap where we're at. We need a startup. We need a startup level. We need a website, traffic, and a sales funnel. And then on that second level, we're going to need strong follow-ups and nurturing campaigns to make sure we make sales.
Okay. Wow.
Now, the last part, which is usually fun for most business owners, but it also can be scary. I like to call that the scaling section, the scaling phase. So we've set this up. We've got a system that converts. We're making money. What am I going to do with all of this money? And this is usually a good time for me in the business.
A good problem.
Right, it's a good problem, but we have two options here. We can either scale and grow, but for some businesses, really adding on 400 new clients isn't, what they're looking for. Sometimes they're looking to make more profit and do less work. So you either, once you're at this point, you've made the money, we need to figure out, do we want to scale for a larger business, or do we want to start getting more efficient? Do we want to really look at our conversion rate and try to optimize what we have? You know, if we have a strong 20 clients coming in every month, do we want to turn that into 40, or do we want to get that 20 to pay more?
Wow. Oh, that has got to be a crossroad for every business owner when they get to that point. And I guess that would kind of go back to fitting to what their business plan is. Your business plan states your intentions of your business. I'm quite sure that when KFC opened its first, place of business, he had an idea that I'm going to franchise.
Right.
That was probably part of his business plan. So so now his website, his marketing, everything he does flows with the plan, which is now franchising. So if I'm a business owner, I come to you, probably the question you want to know from me is, what is your business plan?
Right.
What is the future of your business? How do you see it? And if you see it not franchising or not wanting to add more customers or grow your employment, then you would do which one of those two that you're trying to give us right now. So what are those two?
Well, now you got to remember, some places really want to become, and I've seen it where it's ultra effective to scale, and you can scale without necessarily adding size. I've seen a lot of business owners really, and that's the funny part about the website. And I always try to preach this to the business owners, in a sense where you have a lot of functionality, a lot of flexibility in your business just because of this website. And this is what I mean. Once you've gotten to this point, you've made this money, you don't necessarily want to add on new employees, but you still want to change this business. It's not something you want to keep stagnant. I've seen business owners go and really transform themselves by simply adding. You know how much time you could save by adding one video to your website that you might add 20 times throughout the week.
Yes.
And then you have to ask yourself, what's how much is your time worth, and what are you trying to add to it? So it's things like that, little small things. There are follow-up campaigns. Here's the number that that a lot of businesses might want to pay attention to right now. 90%, about 90% of text messages are being received. So that means if you text somebody, there's only like 1% chance he didn't get it.
Right.
They got the text message. But the more startling part is 80% of text messages are read.
Yes.
People read text messages. So if you have a business, if you've been in business for 20 years and you've had a client list, and these people call you and they ask you questions all the time, or they call you to book an appointment, or you're paying, 3 different people at the front of the office to answer calls that come in. Imagine how impactful it would be to have a simple text messages that goes out that says, "Hey, you want to book an appointment?" "Yeah, sure I do."
Yes.
The text message says, "Okay, what date?"
Yes.
"Okay, I want this day." And then that goes automatically to that business owner's calendar. Those type of adjustments, once you're at a point in the business, become,
Wow. That was important that you said. We were talking about his barber. Says he's been going to his barber for over 20 years. And he says during the pandemic, he heard nothing from his barber. No kind of communication at all. And not communication asking how he's doing. We can't wait to welcome you back. We'll be opening blah blah blah. No communication at all. None. He said that when he finally went to the barbershop after 2.5 years, the barber said that business isn't like it was before the pandemic. And he kind of let the guy know that I've been a client of yours for 20 years. I've been coming to you I didn't hear any. I didn't know you were open. I
Yeah,
didn't even know you were open.
yeah,
So what you said there was that's highly effective and simple, like you said, simple thing as a text message. Hey, how you doing? We'll be opening again, blah, blah, blah. We are meeting all the CDC guidelines that are in place. We'll make sure that by appointment, you can come in and get your haircut. We miss you. Something like that would be awesome that most people didn't do.
and this is the thing with that. As a business owner and as a person, you really just have to make a personal decision, because I can sympathize with a lot of business owners with the platforms. Me in particular, like if you go to my Instagram or my Facebook, you won't see a ton of, I'm not a content creator. That's not me. I don't think I probably maybe taken like 5 selfies my entire life. Most of my pictures are, shot and somebody emailed it to me. I can understand with, the business owner not necessarily being enthused by the platforms. But, like I said, this is a business,
Right.
and you just have to make that personal choice. And
Exactly.
really at that point, what you need to do, if that's the case for you, is partner up with someone who does
Who
enjoy it.
can? Right.
Like I said,
Exactly.
there are people that enjoy this stuff. Like
Right.
me, I don't. I will not, by any sorts want to sit there and really fill out a Facebook calendar. I'll be honest with you, that's not my thing. I
But
really
you
don't.
have a team that does that.
Exactly. And that's, it's a win-win. You have to let people, do what they do
Right.
best. Now, when it comes to the numbers, I actually love that part.
Okay. All
And
right.
they hate that. They make the Facebook post. They don't want to look at, well, okay, what's 20% of 1,200 impressions? Did we hit the mark? They don't
Exactly.
want to do
Exactly.
that, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. See, now and those are things that I do on the LinkedIn page for the city. I get the impressions and how many percent of that is, the click by, the impressions,
Right.
the how many, yeah, all the click buys and rates and all of those things. Yeah. So,
And you have to just kind of pick what you want to do.
yes.
Some people like those numbers, some
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. But those numbers there, now those are the numbers that gravitate that you can say, okay, now um, how do I pivot my content that I
Yeah.
can drive this because I want this rate to go up. I want more click rates. I also want more shared rates. I want to know how many people are sharing my link, so
Yeah.
all those kind of things, how many business owners are looking at my post as opposed to general people in population. If I'm focusing on business content, how many business am I targeting? That
Hmm.
number is very important to me, so
Yeah.
those kind of things I look for as well. So I'm with you on the numbers. I love the numbers.
Right. Yeah. But when like there's a new landing page that has to be created,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
that's why working with Martha makes it like a perfect fit, because she's all things art.
Okay.
So, because all of this stuff needs to be visually,
Right.
you
Right.
know,
Exactly.
acceptable too. So if my numbers don't look visually, on the
Exactly.
website, I still lose. So it's really good that we can make that mashup and really find success by working those two avenues.
I'm excited that you were here with us today. I know that our business owners and the general population who's listening, anyone who's listening, are definitely going to give you a call to find out more about what they need to do because you have been a wealth of information. You have um, imparted things in us that we didn't think of, and most people don't. Most people who are not technically savvy, or are not too familiar with Facebook, the digital marketing, the social platforms, this to them is overwhelming. But the way you came across and you explain it to our listening audience today makes it seem a little bit more attainable. At least for me, it does. Like, wow, okay, perhaps maybe I can step into this new world of digital marketing.
I mean, yes, I tell people, don't be afraid of it. The thing that just kind of, I think, makes it really terrifying for most is we haven't had a formal set of digital marketing education there is no digital marketing degree. You know, you can do, you know, marketing, and you can learn social at the same time, but there's no specific pathway to getting this knowledge, which is a good and bad thing. You know, get in, learn, and, you know, try it out, and it works for most businesses. You know, so.
Well, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for the invaluable information. To let the audience know that your information will be posted on our all social media platforms. You'll be on LinkedIn. You can find this podcast on Facebook. You can find it on Miramar Pembroke Pine Chamber of Commerce website. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on Spotify. Wherever you want to listen to this, we're going to make it convenient for you to be able to reach out to Mr. Rolle so that he can take your business to the next level. You know, you can do us a favor right now, Mr. Rolle. Just give us your contact information, your best contact information.
Well, okay, if you ever really want to get in contact with us, the easiest way is really just to go to smartwebplans.com. Like, one of the first buttons is like schedule a meeting with me. That will ding off. That's the easiest way. Yeah, I don't know how many people. Well, you're in Miramar, so you guys are not too far away from us. The office is on Pines. So here, let me grab the address. Actually, we just moved there not too long ago. It's a little tricky. I'm gonna actually grab the address for the office for you guys, in case anybody wants to actually have a meeting with me. But you can also
it'll be posted on all the social media platforms.
Yeah,
if we have information down.
Okay.
All right.
Can I just send you a link for that specifically?
Absolutely. You can send me the link with all your information, your address, any way you want us to our audience to get in contact with you.
Okay.
So for all our listening audience out there, please make sure that you register for the Miramar Business Pulse, our newsletter. Our newsletter is full of information. Newsletter contains everything that the city of Miramar is doing for our businesses, like websites, networking events, all kind of financial opportunities, our procurement processes, everything that's happening in the city of Miramar, you will find on our Business Pulse newsletter. Also, if you want to get in contact with our department, which is the Economic Development and Revitalization Department, we have our landing page. On our landing page, we have a hub for business owners to put their information in so that the community can know who you are, where you are. It is a business directory. We made that just for you. So don't be afraid to come to miramarfl.gov/business pulse or miramarfl.gov/EDR. Thank you again for being our host. Thank you again for being our listening audience today. I'm your host, Johnny Douglas. As I always say, enjoy your day, be nice, but be kind to others. And most importantly, stay connected.
Thank you.